So, this is Jesús Copado, and wait a second, can I have a little space?
Yes.
Thanks. Yes, Jesús was already in the European projects and ILIAS plugin development at the Innovation and Learning Institute of the Friedrich Alexander University of Erlangen-Nuremberg, but now he's the CEO of SURLABS, as many of you might know. I hope so. I really do. And this presentation is also quite in continuation with some of the aspects that we heard this morning. It's about artificial intelligence and the available possibilities, the latest trends, and the future of artificial intelligence within ILIAS. That's why we're here. And I'm really looking forward to this presentation with a very specific title, ILIAS Hitchhiker's Guide to Artificial Intelligence, and I can only say, well, I'm looking forward to this. 42.
Thank you. Great. Now you answered one of the questions I had. I would like to ask you, how many of you took the reference on the title of the presentation? All right, that's great. Well, of course, I'm going to talk about artificial intelligence. It was great to hear what our colleagues from Nextcloud had to say today in the morning. And what I'm going to show you or let you know today is first the legal framework we have right now for this artificial intelligence here in Europe. And second, I'm going to show you which tools can we use already in ILIAS that use artificial intelligence. And as a third step, I'm going to show you what we have in mind for the future as tools for as ILIAS tool using artificial intelligence. And you will understand why I'm going to talk about the laws before and about our projects last. So, okay, let's see. Good. So this is the index, and now let's go to the legal framework. So this is a representation on how should look like our politicians thinking about the future of the law. And at the end, after more than 1.5 years talking somehow, they managed to reach an consensus. So now artificial intelligence in Europe is like everything is okay. So it's France, it's Italy, and in the middle is Germany because of the trains collapsing, everything. So, about the law, what the law says. This law was Law 2024-1689, was firstly provisionally released in March 2024, and was completely released and published on the 13th of June 2024. And this is what the law says. So you can you can stay with this, and we are all okay. This is said by the law. So the deployment of AI system in education is important to promote. Blah blah blah. Everything is nice. Huh? But this of course cannot be a European law. There is of course a however. And the however after this text is a system used in education or vocational training, in particular for some points I'm going to tell you later, should be classified as high-risk AI systems. So, which are the before going to the high-risk system, I would like to point that all other uses of AI within education are not considered high risk. So only the ones I'm going to tell you now are considered high risk. This is something for me has changed since the last time I talked about this on the development conference in Karlsruhe. I thought that everything related to education will be considered as a high risk, but no, only the next point. So as of the Annex 3 of this law, and the point 3 of that annex, the following points should be considered high risk. So system used to determine the admission or path that a student should follow. That kind of, if that system includes AI, that should be considered a high-risk system. So that's typical case of you have a test and then or a self-test, where the adaptive test, where the student should, depending on their level, they will get, for example, level B2 or C1 of English, something like that. That is a high-risk system if AI is involved, as of the European Union, I mean. The second one is the system that evaluates learning outcomes. It's not so clear what learning outcomes might be, but it says, it clarifies, including those outcomes that are used to steer the learning process. So it's almost the same, that if you are going to use an AI system to determine the path that the student will go, then that is a high-risk AI system. The third is, again, and this time is more specifically, it's saying that the system that are assessing the appropriate level of education, and you say, okay, you have been saying that for the previous points, but what I wanted to say that this is the most important point, and the point D, I would say A, B, C are almost the same, and D is something different. So systems that are assessing the appropriate level of education should be considered high-risk systems. And the last one, I think that it's something that the European Union decided that systems that are used to monitor and detect prohibited behaviors in the student, but for some reason they say during tests should be considered high-risk systems. And the reason that the European Union say for this is also explained on the same paragraph, saying that AI is good. So at the end, the European Union is concerned on system determining the life of the people. So they don't want, they really want to have people overseeing this process. And I'm saying again, high-risk system doesn't mean prohibited. So, of course not. It means, this is what I asked the AI to show me with an image, the difference between high-risk and prohibited. For some reason, they would say that. And I would say that it's really appropriate. So, those are the requirements an AI high-risk system should fulfill in order to get into the market. So they are not prohibited, they should fulfill all these requirements, which are, it should be a risk management system within the system, which in an iterative way should improve the security of the system. There should be a clear data governance in the case that we are training AIs with the data we are collecting from the system. It should be, of course, technical documentation prior to the release, and also record keeping, so logging system within the system itself. And it is also required to be transparent. So you, as an owner of a high-risk AI system, you should provide information to the public. And the most important one, and it is the base of the whole European law for AI, is that you need to have human oversight in this kind of system. You cannot let the AI to decide. This is something that it's totally clear for the European Union, and we should, of course, fulfill. The system should be accuracy, robust, and prepared to respond to several possible cybersecurity problems. And of course, you have to be in contact with the authorities, and again, register your system within and within the European Union register. Which is the problem, that of course there is no European Union register. And now I'm going to tell you which is the timeline. So it was announced in March this year, it was published in June this year, and each European Union country has until August next year to develop their own law. Each country will have their own law which should fulfill also this European law. And in August 2023, this law that was published in June this year will be finally mandatory in all European countries. So there is a time frame of 2 years where the countries will have to prepare for what is going. And I want to say again that all the systems I was talking here are the 4 cases I talked before. All other systems using AI for education that has nothing to do with the points, then they are free to exist. And that's a really good news for us. So the law says that the deployment of AI system in education is important to promote high quality. But for me, I would say the most important part, and they say it's at the end, however, whatever. Then for me, the most important is how can we manage to reach this, the inclusion of AI into education. Especially, how can we manage to allow learners and teachers to acquire and share the necessary digital skills and competencies. At the end, we are teaching students that will be using AI for the rest of their lives. This is something that for most of us, it's not easy to understand, but be sure that if you are in a university context, you know that your students are already using AI. So somehow we have to do the same. And don't panic. That's the most important thing. At the end, AI as large language model, I would say, not AI, but large language model as GPT, bring the attention to AI, which is an older technology, but now with the computer, with the hardware we have, it is possible to make, to convert AI into a really useful tool for education, not only for the student to make their task on one click, but also for the teachers and for everyone. And what can we do now with ILIAS, with AI? I would like to show you. So in the last time so the first time I showed this was in Fürth, December last year, and the ILIAS ILIAS Süd meeting, sorry. There we show the first version of our AI chat plugin. It has changed a lot since there. Now, this is how our AI chat plugin looks like. I would like to thank now the University of Marburg and the University of Freiburg to support us on the development of this tool, which of course is, as you can see, has the function that GPT has. It is prepared to work not only with GPT, but with any other systems. But right now, what you can see here is connected with GPT. So I'm gonna try to ask for it well. Does any one of you have any suggestion we can ask to the GPT?
How many ILIAS installations are there in Austria?
Let's see if it has no idea.
Should I take the mic?
In Germany?
Germany or
Thank you. Let's see. I am gonna make it high.
I don't know.
Exactly. So, of course, the answer is, I don't know, but I have a question. How many of you did know this information? How many ILIAS installations are there? Nobody knows it? So, of course, GPT doesn't know either. But even if GPT wasn't trained with the ILIAS at first, even if GPT wasn't trained with the ILIAS documentation, I asked, how can we, I'm going to make it, okay. So ask, how can I change my avatar in ILIAS? And this is what I say. It's almost accurate. I would say it's accurate. There is also some example of non-accuracy. I know you like to see non-accuracy examples of GPT doing things. So, for example, here, I think it's here. No. Yeah, here it says how to create a course. It says that you can add the course category. Well, I don't think this is true, but the rest, it's almost accurate. So, the good point, I'm finished now with the AI chat. The good point is that you can already use it on your platform. This AI chat has been developed as an open source tool, so feel free to use it. You will need, of course, in case you want to use GPT with, you will need an OpenAI key in order to make the calls. So, which other options do we have? Oops, okay. Okay. So this is talking about the GPT. We have done internal testing with Llama and with Claude. It works fine, but to be honest, it works better with GPT. And the next feature, we are expecting that some of our partners will fund it, is the image generation with the plugin, as GPT has. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the future tools. And, for example, feedback or options generation for questions. I mean, the process of creating questions, it might be tedious, especially if they are stack questions. We have a lot of options. And we found that there would be a good idea to use GPT to improve, to make this life, everybody's life easier. And I'm going to show you an example. All right. So this is normal stack question with nothing special there. And now if you go here, my colleagues have prepared something that is, of course, not yet released. This is a development in progress, but it would work like this. So here we have the feedback, and here we have the button. We click the button, and we get the feedback. But it's totally surprising how accurate this feedback is. So what we send to GPT is just the text of the question. And we tell GPT, this is a question. You should give feedback for, in this case, for right, if the question is right. So if the answer was right. And it's surprisingly working really good. And we can do that not only for a stack, but we can do that for adding options, for example, to your live voting questions. You just need to write the questions you want to ask your students. Let GPT write for you which options do you have in case you don't want to write it, or in case you want to add many options, or in case you don't know which option you want to give. This specific feedback in stack question, AI feedback for a stack question and AI options for live voting are two crowdfunding projects which are already open. So if you are interested to fund it and to make it available for everybody, please contact us. All right. And now to finish, which I'm almost at the end, I would like to talk about the high-risk system. When I first created when I wanted to make this presentation back in March this year, it was clear for me that I'm going to make it about AI. And my intention was another one. I would like to show you the first sketch of two tools we have in mind. The problem is those tools are cataloged by the European Union as high-risk systems. So does it mean that we are not going to develop? Of course not. We are going to develop it. One of them, which evaluates how the students create the task, is already presented for funding at the Spanish level. We are opting to get a fund for that from the government, and the other one is on the standby. But we want to, we have in mind these tools. Sadly, we cannot show you anything because it makes no sense to start developing anything as it is not clear how everything is going. But this is something we have in mind. And the main point here is, I'm quite happy that my colleagues, Saul and Danny, which were here yesterday but not today, they are passionate for AI. They know everything about AI. They have one of them almost born after AI. So we are open to hear your suggestion, and we are open to implement this solution you want. You just have to contact us, and the most important thing is that, please, don't panic. This is only technology. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Any questions in the room? Again, you? No. Yeah. Okay, maybe we wait 1 second till it's settled. Sure. And then you first, the others will.
That's fine. Okay.
Thank you for the presentation. It was very nice. So my question is, does it work only with STAC or with the standard e-assessments of ILIAS? Oh, sorry. Das hier, okay.
What you saw, that will work in case it's funded for STAC and also for live voting, but we are not responsible for any part of the core of ILIAS, so we are not going to include it. So it will be, I don't know, maybe it would be possible to make a interface plugin to add that option, but this is not on our mind.
So it's only a tool, but not plugin? Your tool is...
The AI chat, that's
Yes?
a plugin.
Plugin,
That's work
okay.
independent, so you
Okay.
can have that, of course.
Okay.
But what you saw of the feedback generation, that is not yet implemented. So
Okay. Do we have the possibility to check or to test this plugin?
yes, and thank you very much. You made that question because I forgot totally to say
great.
that. So all of you who wants to test the SURLABS plugins, please go to ilias.surlabs.com. So no, I don't have. What a second. Yeah. No. Give me a second. All right. So there you have a bit bigger, okay. So there you have all our partners have their area. So if you are already a partner of SURLABS, you will register there, and you will be automatically transferred to your group. If you are already not a partner of SURLABS, please send us an email, and we will create an area for you so you can test our plugins. Not only AI chat, but also the new live voting. Please test the new live voting and the whiteboard for ILIAS.
So I'm just wondering if you plan on working with embeddings because we are thinking of building a more elaborated ILIAS search with our own tutorials and thinking of using embeddings. Is that something maybe we could ask you to work together on that, but
Yes.
maybe you are planning on it already.
But not on that way. We're thinking about to include.
The documentation?
Yes, using the. I have been talking also with Alexandra to create a model with the documentation of ILIAS that will be much more consuming, but we are open, of course, to work with you, of course. Yeah.
One question from my side is, if I understand you right, all AI that you use is ChatGPT, right?
What you saw here, yes.
Yeah.
We
So-
have already internally tested with Claude and Llama.
Okay, so it's could also be possible to use open source or
Yes, and
other,
the tools,
so it,
the
you
AI
wouldn't be
chat-
dependent from ChatGPT.
No.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Maybe one last question, if there is one. Yes. Here, gentlemen over there.
Yeah, the question is, do you plan to give the question generation more of a context to improve the overall performance, like feeding all other material you could get in like in a course into such a model?
That would be great, but I think that is already some step. So we would like to do that, but before of that, we are giving the context in a different way. For example, for the stack question feedback generation, we are giving just the text, but we can give also the rest of the information. I think we are going step by step, but of course, at the end, we would like, of course, to have the option to, okay, this is the PDF, please create a course, please create a question, and so that would be, but they would say that will be in the future, high in the future. But yes, it's an option. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Please,
Thank you.
Thank you.